Hey guys, hope all is well. So, welcome to our monthly A Day in the Life of a Social Worker. So, I did have a question that was left by one of my viewers. Thank you so much. And the question was, what should a medical social worker's cover letter slash resume look like? So, I'm just gonna briefly kind of talk about that. That's our topic for January's video. And I'm also looking down at like my resume just to kind of get an idea like what I put on it. Haven't updated my resume in probably 5 years because I've been at my current position. It will be 5 years in October. And prior to that, I was someplace else for 14 and a half years. And then I did some in-between work for like the state. So yeah, I haven't updated my resume in quite some time. So I'm actually looking at it now. And I'm looking at some other things. So of course, your cover letter always want to say something about one, I would like to apply for, the hospital social worker position ad. I'm gonna throw a random hospital ad. Columbia. Okay, let's just throw, I would like to apply for the hospital social work position at Columbia Hospital. I hold a master's in social work degree with, you want to talk about a little bit about, I think I'm about almost 10 years, about 10 years of professional experience as a social worker. And then you also want to talk about your current position. Again, not too much. You want to keep this short and sweet. You want to say something to the point as like what your current position is. So for an example, in my current position as a social worker at, let's make up something else up, at Hartford Hospital, right? I complete intake assessments with each incoming resident and their family in order to determine their needs, provide resources, information to the families, and I help residents become acclimated to the nursing home environment or to the hospital environment. And, just something briefly about what is your current position. What is it that you do in your current position? And then your next paragraph should say something about your skills. For example, my written communication skills are excellent. I take pride in keeping accurate progress note and records. Above all, I am a compassionate social worker who strives to make residents and their families feel as comfortable as possible during their transition. During their transition to the nursing home, during their transition to the hospital, during their transition to, assisted living. I'm just thinking of some places. So something like that. So you always want to say, and then of course you always, before you end your cover letter, you want to say what drew you to this job, or what can you bring? So something, example, I would love the opportunity to share my social work skills and caring nature with the patients of, I think we said we're applying to Columbia, with the patients at Columbia Hospital. I am quite certain you will find me to be a superior candidate, something to that sort. I hope you will contact me soon to arrange an interview to further discuss how can I contribute to your institution. I look forward to speaking with you and thank you for your time. So you want to say just a little brief to reason why you would like to have a position at that particular place. You want to open invitation, you want to invite them in. So that's when we talk about, I hope we can have a conversation, or how can I contribute to your institution? I look forward to speaking to you, and then you also want to thank them for taking the time to read your cover letter and taking their time to read your resume. You definitely want to do that. So that's what your cover letter should have. You want to keep it simple, brief, not too much. People don't want to read too much. Trust me. My hospital now, we have been going through a hiring process, and trust me, we have read several resumes, and some of them I'm just like, okay, this is 3 pages long, 4 or 5 pages. After a while, I don't even remember what are they applying for again. So you want to keep your cover letter to 1 page. A cover letter should never exceed more than 1 page. Your resume should, they always say try to keep it to 1 page. I know some of us who's been in the field for a long time sometimes do have to go. My resume is 2 pages, but take away anything that's not valuable on your resume. You want to keep it your professional summary. So now we're getting to our medical social work resume. So your professional summary, a little blurb. Diligent social worker with 10 years of experience assisting 10 years of experience assisting clients with building coping mechanisms to address life challenges, skilled in meditating family members to resolve conflict, comfortable handling stress and performing under pressure. Short, sweet, to the point, right? Then you want to go into, I know some people do work history and then your skills. Either or. I don't even know what 2021 resume should look like because, like I said, mine is about 6 years old. So I would have to see what is the new format. I know it's still under 2 days. I know most people do the professional summary. Then they kind of do like their, skills and stuff. And then their work history. So your skills. What are some of your skills? Crisis intervention. Referrals and networking, case management, motivational enhancement therapy. Motivation, we use a lot of motivational interviewing, especially if you're working with substance abuse patients. That is very popular in a hospital. So certain things like that to like, what are your skills, right? Then we talk about your work history. Now, some of us are interns. So our work history is your internship. So you always want to start from current. Okay, current, and then bring it down to the past. So that's where you always want to start. A little bit about where do you work or where's your internship? What do you do there? So, so for example, work history, I'm going to put social worker at, what did I say? My current employer, let's say it's Hartford, it's Yale. Okay, so social work, Yale Hospital. What do? I assess clients or I assess patients for abuse and neglect to compile documentation for court reports. I develop functional behavior assessments and positive behavior intervention plans to identify cause of problem behaviors. Formulate strategies to address behavior and teach new behavioral skills. I completed detailed charts and again, bullets of what is it that you do at, whether it's an internship or whether it's past work history. I help clients develop new coping mechanisms and techniques to drive behavior modification. So, and you keep going on, this again, medical social workers. What do we do? A medical social worker help patients cope chronic or terminal illness. Skills relevant to this position and found on the applicant's resumes include completing one thing we do: psychosocial assessments, plan of care, assisting patients and adjusting to dialysis, establishing short-term therapy intervention for management of and reactions and adjustments to illness, which is a big thing. I will get a patient just got a new cancer diagnosis, so they're consulting social work for adjustment to illness. Assisting patients with connections to community resource. This is what we do. We do this all day long. We're a hospital, so we're in and out, but then a patient needs substance abuse treatment, patient needs mental health treatment, whatever resource that you can provide that patient, that is something that we do. So you definitely, again, your different degrees. If you held any, I know mine have, I was in the honor society, stuff like that. I'm trying to think. I'm going into I always save notes so that way I'm not rambling on and I kind of stick to the topic. So I'm just looking for my other notes that I put in here. And, okay. It's funny because I feel like I haven't been on my iPad and I'm over here trying to figure how I maneuver my iPad, right? Because my daughter also uses it. So again, your work history, all your experience relating to the position, because some of us worked in retail. That has nothing to do with you applying for a social work position, unless again you have nothing at all to put that really is not relevant. So when people are looking at the resume, again, education, training, experience, skills, licensure, where did you graduate? I'm a Fordham grad, Fordham. So, you want to put Fordham, what degree did you get? So it's Fordham University, master's degree in social work, and the year that you graduate. Don't forget that. You are LCSW, you are LMSW, or you are a MSW, or waiting to take your test. Any volunteer work, and here I go with awards, accomplishments, affiliations, That is important. Some of us are affiliated with NASW. Some of us are affiliated with, I know there's, I think it's like Black Social Work Association, something to that sort. Some of us, again, your awards. I am in, I can't remember. I was inducted in like Social Work Honor Society. There's a name for it, but I can't think right now. Any certifications that you receive, so those are anything that is relevant to social work, anything, even your volunteer experience, because some people volunteer at a domestic shelter, some people volunteer at a homeless shelter. So if you don't have a lot of work experience but you have a lot of volunteer experience, you want to put that there, because that also makes it look good. Like, for example, we hired a new social worker last year in August that was fresh out of grad school. So her only work experience was actually her internship. That was it. But there was something about her that it made us want to give her a chance, because that's what you want. You want people to give you a chance. So you don't want to brag about yourself. You don't want to come in there, like I said, there was a year we went through, we were looking for 2 positions, and we must have interviewed. I got to the point where I got tired of interviewing, because there were so many we interviewed so many people, and so many different types of people in different walks of life, in different, should I say, different places in their social work. They're in different places, meaning like some of them are 20 years experience, some of them are 5 years, some of them are 1 year, some of them did everything, and then now, they want the hospital experience. That's the one thing that they haven't done yet. So we definitely, look at resumes. So you want to put things in there that's really going to catch the eye. But again, keeping it clean, keeping it simple. Please spell check your resume, because let me tell you something. If we get your resume and we are looking at it and it's not spell check, your margins are not lined right, your resume is all over the place, it wasn't proofread, your paragraphs are off, I'm gonna tell you right now, I know I ain't looking at it, and I could say my colleagues are worse. Like, I'm the nice one. I can tell you that I'm the nice one. So if I know I'm gonna skip over and look at it, I could tell you my colleagues, my manager, she's not gonna look at it. The moment she sees that, she's like, up next, because it shows the kind of person you are. We're looking at this paper. So the first thing we see is this paper. We're like, ooh, like what I see. I want to invite this person for an interview. So if your paper is messy, that's already telling us the kind of person we're about to interview. So please proofread. That's important. Spell check. That's important. Your cover letters, your resumes, because I'm telling you, if not, you won't even get an interview. Okay, it wouldn't even, someone wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not wasting my time on this. Like, what is this? So please, that is so important to do that. But again, anything, experience, anything that you guys can think of, anything you have done in the field of social work, as far as volunteering, as far as actually work, put it there. And another one, please, for your references, can you put people that have positive things to say about you? Do not put a reference, someone that you got fired, someone that maybe the manager at that location or at that field placement didn't like you guys didn't get along. Do not put that reference down. You want to put a reference, someone that if I call and say, hey, how is so-and-so? Oh, she's wonderful. Although she could have had worked on this, but she's great. I would definitely recommend her for this position. So you want to put people down as references that's going to give positive feedback on you. No one's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. But we want more positive feedback. Then please don't hire her. I wouldn't even waste my time hiring her. So do not put anyone that that's going to give you negative feedback. Don't put that in your resume. Do not include that. You always want to put reference upon request. So that way, if you do get an interview, because in the hospitals, usually you go through HR first, and then HR reviews it. If HR sees certain things that meet the criteria, then they kind of send the resumes to the manager, and if the manager likes what she sees, she lets HR know, I want to schedule an interview with this person, and then the manager interviews you, and then a team of social work also do like a group interview. So, but again, some places are different. I work in a hospital. I was interviewed, and I could tell you, my interview was the manager, and then I walked into the room with like 20 people. I was like, what is this? But hey, I just sat there and said, okay, God, help me get through this. And that was it. So you can definitely do this. If you have any questions, leave it down below, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.